Hello, this is George LeMieux. I have the privilege of being the chairman of the board of the Gunster law firm, and you're here on Gunster's View from the Top. Today we are with Syd Kitson. Syd is the CEO and chairman of Kitson and Partners, as well as the chairman of the board of governors of the state university system. He also serves on the executive committee of the Governor DeSantis's Reopen Task Force. So really a perfect person to speak with us today about issues that are happening in Florida concerning COVID. So welcome, Syd. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Senator, and I really appreciate you having me here today.
Well, we're privileged to have you. You've been a great friend of the Gunster law firm for many years, and privileged to and thankful for your volunteer time. You spent a ton of time working on behalf of the people of the state of Florida. My first question for you is in your role as the chair of the Board of Governors of the state university system. Many of us are wondering what's going to happen with the state university system. Are the students going to go back to school physically in the fall? Can you shed some insight for us on that process and what everyone is thinking?
Sure, and as you can imagine, it's a very complex answer to that question. And so what we did, I'll just back up if I could for a second. What we did was we put together a task force to help us in this process. The governor formed a task force to reopen the state. At the same time, we had a task force operating to help us with the answers to how we're going to reopen the university system. Something we learned very, very quickly was that the universities throughout the state, all 12, are very, very different in different parts of the state. You have one university that has 7,000 people, and another that has less than 1,000. So they're incredibly different, and they have different resources. We have a number of our universities that have medical schools, one has a hospital, and some don't have those support services. So a lot of them rely heavily on the local health systems. And so what we decided to do was to put a blueprint together that set out the guidelines for each university. And on this task force, we had all the university presidents, we had all the boards of the chairs of trustees, and then we had other support personnel. And we spent several months meeting on a regular basis and putting this blueprint together. And we're very proud of it. And so each university then had this plan to work on as they put their reopening plan together. And so I think it gave some consistency to the method, but of course each university had a different opening plan, and it started with a healthy campus, a healthy community. We talked about COVID testing, tracing, and of course the academic delivery. And we focused first and foremost on student health, faculty health, administrators' health, all the health and wellness of all the people that are involved in that university, and of course they're there to learn, so the academics. So what the universities did is they each put a plan together and then made a presentation to us that was last month, I think it was the 23rd of June. We met live face-to-face at UCF. They did a wonderful job and everybody was safe, and I thought they did an excellent job in how they put the meeting together. Each university made a presentation as to how they're going to open, what they were going to do, what the uniqueness was about that university. And so to answer your question, across the board, each of the universities has said, okay, we're going to open, and the students are going to come to campus. However, with that being said, the delivery of the academic programs could be different. There could be a combination. I think what a lot of people don't realize is the state of Florida not only has the #1 university system in the entire country, by the way, but we have a great, very robust delivery of online education. One of the best.
And that was already built in prior to this, correct?
We started this 5-6 years ago. And to the credit of all the universities, the Board of Governors, and all the people involved, the legislature who helped fund it, we have a great online program at the university. So going online is not a problem. As a matter of fact, I don't think people realize that many of our students, about 75% of our students, when they come to campus, take an online course. So they're already in a hybrid type learning situation right now today as we speak. Last year, before COVID became a part of what's going on in the world. So we now have the ability for when our students come in to be able to say, all right, we're either gonna be online, we're gonna be face-to-face and online, we're gonna be remote if we have to for a period of time. It all depends on what the health situation is in that particular location at that particular university. And I think that's important to understand, because what happens at the University of West Florida can be very different than what happens at FIU and FAU. There are different parts of the state, or UNF, or wherever. So we now have the ability to work with each university and make sure that not only are our students coming in and safe, and look, we know there are going to be positive tests. That's going to happen. And so we're working very closely with the Department of Health. Scott Rifke's our Surgeon General, and we're prepared, to deal with whatever comes our way. And I think that's the key: is preparation, planning, making sure that we can deal with because I think, Senator, you would agree that it seems like every week things change dramatically around here, and we've got to be ready for those changes. So I believe that the universities have done an outstanding job in getting ready, and it's going to be difficult, and it's going to be, I think, complex, but we're ready.
Well, that's great to hear. And as you said, one size doesn't fit all. What New College needs is different than the University of Florida. So, but good to know that our students will be back and have those opportunities for both in-person and remote learning, depending upon the facts on the ground.
Exactly.
You also wear this hat as this great developer and visionary mastermind of Babcock Ranch, a great community in Southwest Florida, which is a real futuristic way I think that we're all going to live. You've got to be thinking about what this COVID situation and, dealing with an infectious disease does to the way people live. I live here in Fort Lauderdale. We've been experiencing, baby boomers leaving their suburban houses once their kids leave the house, moving to downtown, going into big, 30, 40 story condos, moving to the beach. Everyone's going to give up their car. Everyone's going to walk, live, and play within these condos. And now here we are, and everyone wants to live in a home again. Everyone wants a yard. Everyone wants to be able to isolate. As a thought leader on this, tell us what you think this pandemic is going to do for how we live, how we work, how we socialize with each other.
That's really interesting. And as you know, Gunster had a lot to do with working through the very complex process we went through and putting Babcock Ranch together. If people don't know, Babcock Ranch is going to be just under 20,000 homes and 6 million square feet, but also the first solar powered town in, we think, the country, maybe the world. And it's very, very environmentally responsible, and that's what we're very, very proud of. Everything we do, we think about how it impacts the environment. We think about sustainability, and have tried to be really very thoughtful in how we've gone about developing Babcock Ranch. So it's really interesting. You talk about how people view the world today with COVID, and people starting to think about accelerating maybe their retirement years. We've experienced something unique, and I think a lot of communities here in Florida also have, and that is sales have been very robust over these last 4 or 5 months. It's been very surprising to us. And I think other communities that are, I think, well executed would tell you the same thing, that they're actually doing quite well. And I think the message that we're hearing is, people are looking to move out of these tight quarters, out of the cities, and into a place where they're really emphasizing health and wellness, being able to be outdoors, a different lifestyle that isn't just playing golf every single day, but having the opportunity to know your neighbors, but not necessarily be in a 25-story building, where in today's world you have to probably wait for that elevator to have maybe only 1 or 2 people in it before you can actually get on it. But I think if you go back, we are starting to see success early on, because I really do believe people care about the environment, and I think they are looking for a place where they can have a different type of experience. And the way we describe it is, people want the hometown that they remember growing up, except
Right.
all the modern conveniences and technologies of today. What we're also finding is a lot of people work from home. We have a gigabit to every single home and business at Babcock Ranch. So for people to work from home is very, very easy. Connectivity is there. For businesses, it's there. But a lot of the people there are working from home, and that has surprised us. The other thing is we have a school. We have a public charter school at Babcock. And what happened was a lot of the second home buyers went on pause the last 3 or 4 months. They were waiting to see what was going to happen. They weren't necessarily at that particular time the empty nesters making that choice, but a lot of these young couples who had the ability to still buy a home were buying. And again, it surprised us, but they were looking for great schools, looking for school systems. And we started with a school at Babcock Ranch, which is very, very unusual, and we're very proud of it. It's a project-based learning environment, and I think that helped us quite a bit at Babcock. So our sales there are about as good as we could have hoped for.
That's fantastic. So do you think that the homes are going to be designed differently? Are builders going to have to put 2 or 3 workstations in the house so, husband and wife can work in different rooms and be on calls like this? Are we going to have, more mud rooms where you're going to be able to take all your stuff off and put it somewhere so that you can keep it away from the rest of the house? I mean, I got to think that there's going to be some architectural changes based upon this pandemic.
I think you're going to see some new design elements that people are going to start to insist on. You've already gone to the open concept that people always hear talk about, and kind of bringing the outdoors in, if you will. But I do agree that you're going to start to see the need for that home office, and I think that's something that will absolutely become part of the design parameters, if you will, in the town. In the homes. I also think what you're going to see is people insisting on the building techniques. We're already every home is green, Florida Green Build certified, and that's important because you know that the insulation factors are appropriate, the way it's constructed, the way it can handle weather. All those things are important. And I'll add one other thing. Babcock Ranch is 30 feet above sea level, and here in Florida, that's basically like being on top of a mountain. And so. Right. I think what people really like about that, even though it's on the coast or close to the coast, it has that elevation as well above the storm surge. And I think people are also looking for a place where they can be safe during an event.
Well, Syd, thank you for your time today. Thank you for your leadership. We're really privileged to have you on Gunster's View from the Top, and keep on doing the great work you're doing for the people of Florida.
Thank you very much, Senator, and thank everybody over at Gunster for me. Appreciate everything you do.
I sure will. Thank you, Syd.
You bet. Bye-bye.